I catched my first octopus with bare hands.
With
That
bare-
was crazy.
You grabbed it.
So I was like running at 40 degrees Celsius in the morning. Journaling helps me a lot to like absolutely focus on studying right now.
What does success mean to you?
Be able to spoil my parents, retire them early and make them happy.
Joy is invigorating. Joy can be found in the extremes of experience. Those exhilarating moments when we reach the mountain summit or dive into white horse waves. Consider the wild, far-flung elements that nature offers and embraces, its spine of tingling joy. We can never have enough of nature. We must be refreshed by the sight of inexhaustible vigor, vast and titanic features, the seacoast with its wrecks, the wilderness with its living and its decaying trees. Maximilian, there's a book called Little Joy, written by Joanna Gray. Considering from the little homework I did, I saw you're really into nature, especially the ocean.
Yeah.
Thought it would be a good idea to give this to you. It talks about joy and finding joy in little things. And I think that in the life where everything goes so fast, finding little moments of peace and joy or happiness is so important. So it's a small present for you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
It's a pleasure,
Awesome.
bro.
Yeah. Joy is definitely a big part of life, I guess. Like, also, as you said, like, I'm a nature boy. I lived out, I grew up in the Alps in Austria. So I'm used to skiing all winter long, and also my dad got me into sailing. So definitely big into nature. Love being outside and just makes me calm. So yeah.
I want to hear everything about it, so I'll get into the intro. Hey guys, how's everyone doing? We're doing well. Hope you're doing well as well. And today we're here with a brand new episode of the Success Show. Today we're here at the State of Mind pop-up store in Vienna, and we are joined by Maximilian. This is the third episode we're shooting today, and also the last one. And I'm super excited for this one. I think Maximilian is someone that's super creative, at least from things I've seen. He also has an account where he posts mainly aesthetic photos. And I'm super excited to talk about like the aesthetic side and the art side of making reels, making videos, working on yourself, and how you can find art in that. And also what I'm super interested in is nature. You mentioned it briefly. Your father got you into this. Could you tell us more about that? I'm really interested. Before you continue watching, please consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell so you never miss a future upload.
Sure. First of all, thanks for having me, guys.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah. As I said, like my father got me into sailing. He's like sailing for 30 plus years already. And at first I wasn't like enjoying it. I was like a little bit scared of the boat, like going there. Shit.
Going well.
What do you call it?
Yeah, waving.
No, but the
Capsizer.
capsizing. Capsizing?
Do you mean like it tips over?
Yeah, it tips over.
Yeah,
All right, I'll start again.
that's fine.
Should I just start again?
Yeah, just, again.
Okay, yeah. First of all, my father got me into sailing, and I just enjoyed it. First of all, I didn't enjoy it because like I was scared of the boat like tipping over, and me just drowning, dude. But then as I grew, I just got used to it, and I started loving it. Like, I just created a bond with the ocean, kind of. Also, I just noticed that one, like just recently this summer when I was in Bali, I was so happy. Definitely the happiest moment this year, by far. Like, I was so calm and nothing could like change my mood or like make me angry and stuff. And yeah, definitely ocean especially
Because
diving.
like, what is so special about the ocean? Because obviously you can do activities, like you can be. We quickly had a talk before the podcast. You
Yeah.
told me that a lot of people get scared when they're in the middle of the sea. Like me, when I don't see land anymore, I'm starting to get like, oh, like where's this going? I hope it doesn't take too long. You mentioned like for you it was like that in the beginning, but now like you don't have that anymore.
Yeah, I mean, there's a thing like, obviously you have always in mind like maybe okay, what's down there like, but you just gotta ignore it and just feel the freedom. I think the only thing above the ocean and the water is like there, like flying must be even more relieving and like even more be near freedom, but like floating in the water, diving, seeing this clear blue water, and also like seeing all the nature and all the animals, like sharks maybe. You don't want to see them up close to you, but they are insane animals. Like
Fantastic creatures.
yeah, and also actually last year when we were sailing, I catched my first octopus with bare hands.
With
That
ba-
was crazy.
You grabbed it
Yeah, I grabbed it
out of
I
the
wa-
water.
yeah, I was diving around the boat, and I was seeing it. It was turned down in the sand. I was like, okay, I always wanted to do that. I should do it. At first, I didn't grab it perfectly, so it left like. But then I took a second try, got it, catched it, and it wrapped like his tentacles all around my arm, and I got marks from the suction
Okay.
all over my hand. It was crazy. I was like, dude, what's happening? But it was a crazy experience. Then like my little brother took a photo and we put it back. But that's just the things you get to so close to the nature and the animals, like almost nowhere else. Like you don't see a deer like every other day,
Yeah.
but you can see fish and all the ocean animals, creatures, almost everywhere you go to the lake, too, and the ocean. So yeah,
Something that I really like about the sea is the sound as well.
yeah,
Like so
it
sometimes.
calms you down so much.
Yeah, man. Like when I have like long days, I would come back like in the evening at like 11 p.m. Like had a long day of work, trained, and I would just go to the beach and I would just lay down like right next to where there's no water, but you can hear the waves, and I would just close my eyes and like 15 minutes later I'm like, okay, meditation is over. I feel like a new person.
Mm,
And even I think when you're underwater, I don't know if the sound is still that. I mean, you probably can still hear it, but like the waves, like it's so calming. And you even have these meditation sessions where like ocean sounds, like it is something. And I'm sure that there's some scientific like binaural brainwave explanation,
absolutely.
but yeah, it's super calming. And especially for you who has a pretty busy life. I know you're doing uni, you have a lot of side hustles that we talked about briefly before that we'll get into. Like, is that a place where you can find like momentary peace that sets you like gives you like a small mental reset?
Yeah, definitely. Like just sitting by the beach, sitting by the sea, looking out there and into the nowhere, and enjoying the waves breaking at the shore.
Yeah,
It's it's just I can't really describe it. It's so recharging. Like if you have a busy day, that's actually why I wanna live by the ocean at some point. That's a big goal of mine. Um, and just you can after a long work day, after working, you can go to the beach, take a swim, sit back down on the sand, and enjoy the view, the sounds, and just the nature.
yeah. I mean that sounds like a dream life. And also, you briefly mentioned Bali.
Hmm.
I've seen that you've traveled to quite a few places. I think traveling is such like a eye-opening experience for a lot of people. Like when you go somewhere, you go to a new place, you meet new people, different cultures, different horizons. Like for me, that's so insightful. Like I went to Hong Kong like a few years ago, and everything was completely different. And like for you, I'm wondering like how has that maybe changed the way you view the world? What has it taught you?
Yeah, so this year basically I got into traveling a lot, and I want to do like more of it next year, especially. Before that, I've basically not been outside of out of Europe actually.
Okay.
So my family and I, we mostly travel around Europe: Greece, Croatia, Italy, Spain, or also in the north, so Norway and stuff. But I always love to be on a longer journey, be far away from home, and getting to know different cultures and different mentalities of like these people, and I got to know such a different culture and mentality compared to Austrians or Europeans in general. in Indonesia, right? So these people, I was in a shock when I got back to Vienna because Viennese people are actually not most of them are not really friendly. Like
Yeah.
they are like always like looking angry. Okay,
Yeah, I can imagine also
such a shit day and
like
stuff.
in like a big city like this, like people are always working. They're always like focused
Yeah, and
on.
they're I don't know, just uh they don't really they can't really keep it for themselves. They need to like show everybody that they have a shit day, and the other persons should have a shit day as well because they have a shit day. So yeah, and in Indonesia it's completely different. We were greeted by the driver who picked us up. He was holding up our name shield. He was like smiling at us and welcoming us. Like it could have not imagined a better welcoming present, I guess, to arrive in Indonesia, and the people like everybody like you do a small gesture like you tip somebody, they thank you like 10 times, they hug you, they can't even stop thanking you, they are so grateful. It's amazing, and everybody smiles at you. Go down the street, go down the beach, you look at them and you smile each other, you greet each other, and you don't really have that in Vienna. Like I tried. I love to greet. I think it's some level of respect and just you should just do it. Like to greet each other people and be nice to each other. And mostly when you do it in Europe,
Yeah.
it's not really not much coming back. Like
Yeah.
the rate of getting a response back, a greet back, a hello, a simple and plain hello, it's so low, it's devastating actually.
What do you think the reason is that people there seem happier? Because I know there studies have been done, and myself have Algerian, so I know a little bit about it. It's that like countries in Africa, people there, or I'm sure also in like Indonesia, like people that live in those countries that are not as developed as countries in Europe
Yeah.
are generally more happier. And the study was specifically based on depression rates. That there was lower. Obviously, depression is a big topic, but let's just focus on happiness. People have less there, yet they are happier. You can see it, you can feel it. The vibe is also different. What do you think the reason is behind that?
It's a good one. It actually just when you look at it first, it don't really make sense. Like as a third world country, like the economy is not really flowing. Everybody, the majority is on the poorer end, and still they are like the kindest, happiest, most grateful people you've ever met. Like you don't really see it, but I think it's just like deep down in the roots and the mentality they developed over time, and I think there's not really an explanation. Just yeah, it's the
just
mentality.
difference. Yeah.
Just being grateful, and also it will help everyone. Be grateful for what you have. Like Europeans, they might make millions and work their ass off. Obviously, long day hours, hour days, but long days with a lot of hours to work. But at the end of the day, they get to have like a good pay compared to third world countries. They work their ass off too, like double, triple. Don't really get paid, like, and still be so grateful, so happy that they can live, that they have this life, they take the opportunity to like live the day and live present. I think being present is a big reason of that one. I think when you look a lot in the past or too much in the future, you might get like depressed
Yeah.
or like you always like, dude, why didn't do this? Why haven't I been that successful a year back? So I think you just have to start being present and live the moment. That's why I love to be here at the pop-up store. It's just it makes you present. It makes you communicating with such a lot of new people, interesting people, successful personalities. It's crazy, and love to be here and love to talk to people and yeah, just be more present.
Yeah, that being said, big shout out to SM Studios for making this happen. It's so cool that we get to sit here
Absolutely.
together. I met Maximilian yesterday, actually. Like we had like
For real.
one small talk, and I was like, "Yo, bro, I've seen your content. I used some of your sounds in the past. I'd love to talk with you and see like what's behind the person that makes the videos, especially because it's so special. You haven't done many talking videos,
I haven't done one at all.
and
First time for you guys hearing me talk, so it's actually quite far out of my comfort zone, but we'll get into that later maybe.
yeah, no,
So, yeah.
let's talk about it right now. It's super cool. Like we were talking about it before. Obviously, the way I started the podcast was because I was bad at public speaking. We had a talk before, and like we were talking together about how when we were both younger, we had always like when we were doing presentation, like we would stutter or we couldn't really get out of our words. Like even physically, you would start to shake. Like I've had that before. You probably have had
Yeah, I
that
have
too.
I actually kind of shake right now, so
Like but that's the beauty of it. Like you still said, okay, I'm just gonna do it. I want to try it, and if it doesn't work well, like who cares? You know, like people are gonna watch it,
Absolutely.
and I think it's also human. You know, it's human to have that and to talk about those fears you
Yeah.
have or talk about those difficulties, because especially in the social media day and age, when for example we look at your content like structured day, working out, clean food, we can talk about you cleaning your desk, bro. Everything is so clean. Everything looks good and like everyone does it. Obviously, you're not gonna talk too much about hardships on social media, but it's beautiful that you're willing to take the invitation for the podcast
Absolutely.
and actually talk about those things because I think they matter and I love to talk more about that. Like, what was the reason for you that you wanted to do the podcast in the first like stage?
plain and simple, just step out of your comfort zone. Like just try and be 1% better every day. So at the end of the day, if I didn't have done this right now, I would be mad. I would be like, dude, why didn't you do this? You such a pussy, man. Yeah, but you grow from it. You learn stuff. So even if I like stutter right now, it's okay. I'll get more comfortable with speaking in front of cameras, just right now or in front of people. Yeah, as you said, like same goes for me. I didn't really like to speak in front of the class. Like that's not a lot of people. It's like 30 classmates. You know them for years, and
Yeah.
still you be shaking your ass off out there and sweating and just stuttering. So yeah, it's crazy. So I'm glad that I can speak to you right now here, and yeah,
I'm also
Awesome.
honored to have the first time that you're speaking on camera with us. I think it's super special and yeah, I'm just super excited to learn more about you because we briefly talked before the podcast and you mentioned, for example, that when you were younger at school you felt more like a misfit in a way. I can relate to that, and I think the people that behind the camera as well. Like we had like something that we were passionate about. For me, it was sports and videography. For my producer, it's music. For my cameraman, it's filming. I'm very curious about what it was for you when you were younger and how, like for you, like you felt that you were different than other people.
I think it's like generally like for all the people right now here at the pop-up shop, and also all people like related to Project 50 and that are watching right now the Success Show. Like I think it's relatable to everyone here. Just like being a misfit, not really fitting into the norm, always being different. Like we talked about it earlier. Like I kind of got bullied in school when I was younger. I didn't really took it personally. Sometimes it was hard. Like obviously, sometimes it gets to your feelings, and you're like, bro, what did I do? So yeah, but it's probably because I started to get interested in career and as we will talk about side hustle and all that stuff. And not a lot of people in that age, like 14, 15, do that. Like, I was binge watching YouTube, all the financial channels, like how to invest at a young age, how to start a business, what to do to make your first 10K and stuff. I was really addicted to watching these videos and then also executing and trying out new things. That really like got me away from being focused on why I'm getting bullied to like just ignoring them, focusing on myself, and like I don't give a shit. I'll focus on my business. Like that's basically it. Yeah.
And what was the reason that you started getting into all these, like, for example, YouTubers that talk about finance or self-development? Because a lot of people have, like, triggers. For me, it was, like, I started Taekwondo because I was getting bullied. Was there something that for you was, like, a key moment where you were like, okay, now I'm going to do this?
I was just watching around and looking what other people do, and I came to the conclusion that I'm not really happy if I wouldn't be happy if I need to work a 9 to 5 and have a boss over me or like work minimum wage. So that really got me into it. I just wanted to get like to a point as fast as possible where I can like travel, work, and enjoy life from everywhere. Like at like 25, 30. That would be the dream. That's really what got me into it, and also like seeing those success stories from people. Just like a week prior, I saw a dude. He's like 16, and he has like, I mean, his father is already also in investment banking, but he's 16 and is managing like multiple millions for clients, investing for them, and yeah. It's just crazy, like thinking about it. He's 16, 4 years younger than me, and insane. So that's what like keeps me striving and keeps me trying to better myself every day. And because you should mainly focus on yourself, but people like these, they kind of keep you going. Also, this community Ben and Nico built through State of Mind and Project 50, it's insane. Like we all have like same interests, like-minded, and just trying to success out there, like and not be normal. Like yeah, just be kind of different, do your own thing, work on yourself, and yeah.
It's crazy, and you spoke about like these things that you're trying to achieve, like you talk about financial freedom and being able to work from where you want. What are some daily habits that you implemented into your life in order to work towards achieving that? Because obviously we're still really young, we're not there yet by no means, but from what I see, you're working on that, and that's also what we've talked about.
Yeah, some of the daily habits I have like is like absolutely key. Drinking a lot of water right away in the morning. Just to flush out all the toxins and stuff, and rehydrate overnight from being dehydrated overnight. So, but quite a recent a habit I got into recently. I didn't do it before. Actually, I need to say it. I didn't really do it consistent. Also, like while doing Project 50 is journaling.
Yeah.
But now I'm happy that more than happy, and I would have wished that I've started it earlier.
Yeah.
Like just writing down those thoughts down that you have floating around in your mind, and especially in a busy day-to-day life, it helps you so much. Writing down what you're thinking about, and then reorganizing, and like you can get back to it later. So it helps me a lot with studying, because like I can really focus when I'm studying. It's a lot different to working or editing. I'm in a flow, but studying is hard. Like it's really hard. And now journaling and writing those thoughts down, clearing your mind, helps me a lot to like be present and like absolutely focus on studying right now. Because I know I've written it down, I won't forget it. I can come back to it later when I've finished like studying and or other things like. But journaling is key.
Because Is it hard for you to combine, like, for example, studying with your social media? Because that has been really successful, I can imagine. Probably got some brand deals maybe like from social media. And then you also have school on the other side. I can imagine journaling is nice because you can just empty your thoughts.
Yeah, yeah.
But still, it's super hard to combine the two. I can imagine. Could you tell us more about that?
Yeah, to be honest, absolutely. Like, it's really hard to combine those two things. Like, probably the biggest thing is time management. It is really hard. Like, you try it, it works for 1 week, and then it's already like the same as before. So you need to keep at it, keep being at it, and just structuring your days and also what you do in your day, what you do with your time. Um, I'm gonna be honest. The studies are definitely like not the main priority right now. I mean, they are, but at the end of the day, content creation and all the other stuff I do just makes me more fun. I enjoy it more. It's like what I want to do. So that's obviously why I do it. Like, but yeah, also a habit that definitely keeps me grounded and focused is sports. Like,
Yeah.
definitely.
Do you train every day, or you try to train every day?
Not really every day. Right now I'm trying to bulk, and I
Okay.
really have problems with like gaining weight. So turned back the workload and the volume I'm training. So every 2 days right now. But I've been active like since a young age. I've been playing uni hockey.
Okay.
I don't know if you know it, but it's a mixture of a hockey on without slides and normal ice hockey.
Okay.
Yeah, and also I've been playing football, but yeah, football was when I was younger, and floorball I ended it. Then when I started to go to school, high school, just to have more free time, because at the end of the day it made me fun. It was fun, but there wasn't really a success chance, a career path
Yeah.
in uni hockey. It's not like men's football where like huge amounts of money where you can like succeed and live from it. It was just a hobby. So that's why I didn't continue playing uni hockey, but instead of that I started going to the gym and doing more of that stuff.
Very nice. And what effect did physical movement, I'll call it, because like sports in general, have on your mental health?
It just helps me clear my mind. Like, I'm present into the training. The blood is not running through the brain. It's more like in muscles, pumped in the muscles. So the brain activity is turned a little bit lower, turning down. So I don't really think about anything, especially with running or biking. It really helps me like turn my thoughts off and focus on my training session, on my workout. Yeah, but running, I like cycling. Just got into it recently, and running around 2 years back. I hated running, but then was actually in Greece sailing, and I was going for a run like absolutely actually the whole holiday every day. And at the moment there were a lot of wildfires in Greece, so it and additionally very hot. That's why I was burning. So I was like running at 40 degrees Celsius in the morning. The sun didn't rise,
Yet? Wow.
and it was still 40 degrees Celsius. I actually ran by some wildfires, some small. It was smoking, so insane. So I think after that, running just got easier, because like running at 40 degrees and smoke in the air, everything else, like the Viennese air is much better to run, and also the climate. But yeah, it helps me clear my mind, and yeah.
I think it's also like you put yourself in a uncomfortable situation, right? Like you didn't enjoy running, and you also ran in a very uncomfortable environment. Is this discomfort something that you seek, or Yeah. How do you look at that?
Yeah, I definitely started seeking down discomfort last year, like really putting myself out there and trying to get into uncomfortable situations. Before I was like, even though I was starting to have interest in those things early on, I was still a kid. I wasn't seeking discomfort. Like if I would have loved to take a presentation in school, but I didn't. So yeah, um, absolutely, seeking discomfort is something that will bring you far in the long term, and just makes you yourself happier at the end of the day when you like you you get you you lay in your bed and are about to sleep, and you just know you gave everything you have today and you couldn't have done it better, and tomorrow is the next day and you're proving 1% more, like you're getting better every day. That's crazy thought.
Yeah, and it comes back to being present, right? Like you mentioned yourself in the beginning, like doing sports, like going to the sea, it makes you grounded again. And like having that where you live day to day. Like today I'm gonna make most out of my day, and then the night before, I imagine you plan that way too. The night before you plan your next day, and then you know what you're gonna do, and day by day you try to improve yourself. Something that I find super interesting as well is people like us that do a lot of different things. Like I tend to have a very cluttered mind. Like for example, I'll put something down, and then like
Yeah.
2 minutes later, I'll be like, oh, where did I put it? And my friend or my girlfriend will be like that's not normal, that's a problem. And I'm like, yeah, probably, like 100%. And I saw a quote by George Heaton. I don't know if you know him, the founder of Represent Clothing. It's pretty big, and he wrote,
Yeah.
a busy mind needs a clear workspace. Something that I saw in a lot of your posts is that you clean your workspace.
Good transition.
Yeah, and like, but first of all, it is very aesthetic. Like the cleaning looks nice, but I'm sure that it also has some benefits
Sure.
to your workflow. Could you tell us more about
Sure.
that?
I think the quote is like, it couldn't be better actually. Yeah, I just recently moved, and I didn't really have a clean workspace in the first few weeks. So at some point I was like, okay, I'm now gonna do it, and I absolutely cleaned my whole workspace, and it's such a huge improvement. Like every time I work or study, and I it didn't go as well as it should have. I just then I see like my look at my desk and I know the reason. It was like all like things laying around, like I don't even know, like some invoice from a, I don't know, toothbrush I bought recently, I don't
Yeah.
know, or something like that. And you just gotta clean your workspace every other day, and it will help you to be more focused and be more efficient,
Yeah.
most importantly. Yeah.
I briefly mentioned like the aesthetic part as well that has to it, right? Like the cleaning, the slow cleaning, like we see it's a trend now on social media. Something that I found really interesting and also unique about you when I was scrolling through your page and your story highlights was that you also have an account where you post specifically aesthetic photos. And I'm also a big fan of that. I study architecture, so I like everything that is like related to furniture and you know, like the nice couches. Like I always find that super interesting. Now I'm going to ask you a question. I think it's super hard to answer. I don't expect like a crazy answer, but what does it mean for you for something to be aesthetic?
I think there are like different opinions on that one. I for sure am like, for me, aesthetic is like minimalistic, like having the same colors, earthy tones. That's just like kind of my style, my vibe. I think you see it when you look through the page.
Yeah.
And it's basically like just a page where I put photos I see day to day, and I think they're clean. I love the vibe. I love the aesthetic. Just post them there to. It's actually more for myself than actually to have a huge following or something like that. Just put it there so I can look through, and it also calms down my mind when I see such a aesthetic, or in my opinion, aesthetic feed. But yeah, I think aesthetics are from person to person different. Like you might have a different aspect on opinion on aesthetics than I have, but there are different kind of styles, art, architecture, interior design everywhere. So
It's interesting because you mentioned journaling and,
Yeah.
and writing down. Is this also a way of journaling for you, but then by posting something? Because, like, I'm sure when you see those images, you want to keep them, or at least I have that. I'll take a screenshot, but then it's
Yeah.
hard to find them back because, you have many screenshots. Is there a way for you to, like, collect your art in a way, or like a small art gallery for yourself?
yeah, more of that. Not really journaling.
Yeah.
In that way, but I would love to like document more of my life, not through vlogs or stuff, but more of like photo dumps.
Yeah.
So every now and then to keep my milestones fixed on my profile. I didn't do it right as like, I've done a few of these back in the day, but now it's mainly videos. But I would really love to do such collages. So just to keep you, just to look back in a year and see, okay, that's the day I achieved like a hundred thousand subscribers or followers. That's or things when I succeeded or landed a deal with a brand I love. Yeah,
You,
sure.
you mentioned the milestones.
Mm.
You've reached many, but are there some future goals that you're striving towards or that you're working towards now?
Yeah, sure. Obviously, I've written down a few goals. One of it would be reaching 100K followers. I wanted to reach it this year, but I haven't been active really much recently. So it won't be achievable this year in just 1 month. So it's the goal for next year. Maybe I can reach like 50,000 subscribers this year already. That would be amazing. Like the thought alone that 50,000 people are watching my videos and following me and coming and joining me along the way, it's crazy. Also, like, yeah, obviously I've like business goals, but one of the biggest goals would be like just to achieve freedom, financial and location freedom, and also like being completely independent, like not depending on your parents, not depending on the government, not depending on a boss. I don't want to have a boss. Yeah, just being. It's your like video game. You're playing. You're leveling up. So, yeah.
It's nice. It's very nice. What I can imagine is that when you, for example, attach your goals to numbers, especially when it comes to like outside platform like Instagram, it can be like messing with your motivation because you all know Instagram algorithm, like it's a big nightmare, especially when you're trying to grow. Some videos will go super hard and then for like 2 months, like 0 videos take off. Is that something that takes a toll on your mental health? Because I mean, I'm not big on social media, but you are like, I can imagine that you're pretty attached to that, especially if it becomes your work.
Yeah, sure. It really does. I'm just trying to not let it get into my thoughts or like my workflow. Also, after the second round of Project 50, I just didn't really continue posting that frequently. So that's a big thing. I just got out of routine. It's basically also a routine. Just filming every day, filming your day. And it definitely is like depressing, kind of, if a thing, the algorithm, you can't really control it. You can not change a thing about it. And you put your heart, your tears, your work into creating something, and then it doesn't really perform, and like you're not really that, but you're like, bro, I took like, it took me a whole day to do this or something like that, and then a few people see it. It's just, yeah, it can be depressing or sad. You can get angry, but at the end of the day, you just have to look back at your goals and keep it clear, and you should know that, like, if you would continue, if you continue posting frequently or doing something frequently, it will happen over time, and you will succeed. That's a big thing. Like consistency, it's one of the key factors to success, definitely.
Yeah, I mean everything in life, right? You have to keep on doing something.
Yeah.
You have to keep on doing something to achieve success, and it is so important. What I also want to ask you is, are you happy with the content you make right now? Because, like, for example, you were in Bali, right? And you tried like something different. You mentioned with, like the cinematic style, more like a vlog type video. That you mentioned that like off camera we talked about it, and you said it performed less. Does that then like tell you like I shouldn't do this, or because I can imagine that it also becomes frustrating when you know that something doesn't work but you want to do it, and you become in like a battle with yourself. Am I going to do it
Yeah.
for myself or?
Yeah, so right now I'm pretty happy with my feed. That's a big thing, like having a static feed. But I was like also, if you only focus on that one, it's not gonna go far. You should focus on like being consistent and just putting out the work. And at the end of the day, I mean, the feed is nice to look at, but it's not the priority, because most people, they'll see the video in the scrolling feed and not in your profile feed. So yeah, also, yeah, just like you mentioned, I tried out cinematics with a friend of mine, like gym cinematics with a camera. It just seemed to be not the content the people wanted to see from me. So maybe I'll get back to it as soon as I get like a good camera. But for now, I only shoot from my iPhone. So, and also, I mean, I started with vlogs with Project 50, and that's why most of the people follow me, because they really want to see those vlogs and those daily life things. So, and also it makes it just, I enjoy it the most.
Yeah.
But also, one thing, I would love to do more traveling content, but yeah, let's see. So because I want to travel a lot next year, but it just gotta see what's working, what's not, and implementing those life lessons and things you saw in recent case studies, kind of,
Yeah.
if it worked or not, and change some things, spice it up. Yeah.
I think on the long term, with the people I've spoken to, I think you should also try to, even the things that don't work as well, like you should also do it, like because especially if it makes you happy. Like I've heard a lot of people that from making videos that they like you almost like we talked about being trapped in like a 9 to 5. We don't want that. If you're also going to be making videos just for the sake of making videos, you're also going to get
Absolutely.
trapped in like a routine.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think if I may give you advice, it will be interesting to maybe try something new as well. And even if it doesn't work, if it makes you happy, like it can be fuel, to do the other things.
Sure.
So you should, like, do it.
I'll do it. I think, like, yeah, at the end of the day, it's also like consistency that's gonna play a huge role in that one. So
Yeah.
also, if for now the people seem to not like the cinematic videos, I think if I keep posting them, at some point I'll reach the audience that wanna see them.
Exactly.
So I mean, I hope the algorithm is like that smart to get that one and push it, and not yeah, do the exact the
Opposite.
yeah.
I'm sure, bro. I'm sure if you continue and just like the way you take your social media right now so serious with everything you're doing, if you do that with all the things you do, like it will work out. And I'm gonna ask you now the signature success show question. We talked about a lot of different things. It's super interesting, also because I haven't heard you talk before. For a lot of guests,
Yeah.
I can like look at previous YouTube videos they made, and I can like talk about things they mentioned before, which I didn't have that. But that's why it's so interesting to get to know you from like 0 to 100. We only met yesterday.
Yeah.
So
It's awesome.
just want to say that's crazy, and also again, state of mind. It's crazy that you bring these people together. It's really cool. But I wanted to ask you the signature question, which would be, what does success mean to you?
That's a good one. I think for me it is mostly to achieve, as I mentioned, location and financial freedom, and also be completely independent. I just wanna be able to travel the world on my own and not be like, not have to depend on anyone, or have to listen to someone and do what they say. And also like it would make like a few goals of mine as like I like to be able to like kind of spoil my parents, just give something back, buy them nice things, just retire them early and make them happy. So that's probably what's the definition for me to success. Just being able to travel, being able to just to not have to look at your bank account and like think about, am I broke? Can I buy this? Or you just being able to ignore it, not look into your bank account and just live your life, enjoy it to the fullest, and yeah.
Just before we end the podcast, you talked about a few different side hustles you have,
Yeah.
or that you had in the past.
Mhm.
You've tried a lot of different things. Could
Yeah.
you still like talk about that, because I'm really interested in that?
I mean, the probably the most common side hustle is reselling. I did a lot of that, like reselling PS5s, sneakers, clothing, all sorts of stuff. Everything that was limited and not being able to for someone to buy it. I was like in reselling groups and cook groups. That's what they call.
Yeah.
With like they have like servers and monitors that like monitored the whole internet, the shops. Getting a direct link to the PS5 checkout, so I could click on it, buy it, and a few weeks later I sold it for almost double. So these things, like going to flea market and searching for limited stuff, for old playboards, analog games, or Nintendo games and stuff like that. Mainly this one. It just was easy to do out of out of your own room as a kid, and easy to get started. Yeah.
It's funny. It kind of shows also that if you want something, that if you like, there's always a way to make money, especially
Yeah,
in this like
absolutely.
digital time where like things online, everything's always a way to do it. And I think you're a perfect example of how you can make that work. Even at a very young age, you're showing how it's possible. So
Yeah, so many opportunities out there. Like as I mentioned, like just type into YouTube how to make money online at a young age, and you'll see like print on demand. Like just create a design, and the print on demand retailer will do everything else. As soon as the design is sold, you don't need to do anything. You'll get the money. Same working with like Amazon, FBA, drop shipping, everything. There are so many things out there you can try and do. For me, content creation now work the best so far, and yeah, I love doing it. I love to do everything else, and I think everyone should try as much side hustle as possible at some point, because if you only like try one and think one job, and think you're happy with that one, and you'll be happy working it for your whole life. I don't think that's possible actually. Like I think you should try out things, try new things, switch things. Like yeah.
yeah, always try to better yourself in every aspect of life. I think
Yeah.
that's a good way to
Trying and learning.
try and error.
Yeah,
especially.
trial and error. Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. Maximilian, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure, bro. It's a pleasure, and also overcoming this like barrier of having your first talk on camera. I'm honored to have done it together with you, and I hope that in the future we'll see some videos where you speak, because you have very interesting stories. You've done a lot. Also, like going to a flea market, please film that, bro. Like Gary Vee would say, content,
like Gary
make
Vee
content.
style. Gary Vee style.
Yeah, bro, go garage sailing. Like, I think it would be really cool, and I think you could also like reach a new audience with that, and
Yeah.
also just being new to it. Like, people are human. Like, they like the vlogs, they like
Absolutely,
the reels, but also telling them, look, this is new for me. It's gonna be hard, but I'm still gonna do it. I think that's beautiful. and-
Stepping out of the comfort zone every day.
Exactly.
I'm really glad that I did it actually. So I'm really happy right now. So I didn't really shake that much. I thought it would
No,
be
it was
worse,
fine,
but
bro.
awesome.
Thank
Yeah,
you so much, man. Thank you so much, and on to many more successes.
absolutely. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
I'm the most brutal and efficient and most ruthless champion there's ever been.
Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it! You should be a monster, and then you should learn how to control it.
It all comes from life lessons, and the lessons are learned through struggle.